What if the most important truths about life came not from a wise scholar, but from a little boy who fell from the stars?
They'll ask questions you've forgotten to ask,
Show you that grown-ups can be foolish in ways children never are.
and reveal that love, loss, and friendship are far greater treasures than anything you can hold in your hands.
Before you meet him, be warned. Once you hear his story, you might never see the world the same way again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to BookPodCastZone. I'm Emma, your guide on this deep dive.
And I'm John, ready to help us unpack the profound insights hidden within today's incredible source material.
Today, we're embarking on, an extraordinary journey, I think. We're diving into a classic that truly challenges our perspective, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's The Little Prince. And we're not just, reading it casually, we're actually drawing from a fantastic chapter-by-chapter guide to really help us navigate its timeless wisdom.
Yeah, and uncover its deepest secrets, because this isn't merely a children's book, right? Though it's often charmingly presented that way.
Right, it has that feel sometimes.
But it's actually a deeply philosophical work.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, it was written during a really tumultuous, uncertain time in history. It uses this deceptively simple, kind of allegorical narrative to question adult priorities, to explore the very nature of love, loss, responsibility, and, what truly gives life meaning. So our mission today is really to extract those powerful nuggets of knowledge and immerse ourselves in the historical context that shaped them, because that's crucial.
Definitely.
And ultimately help you see why this profound story continues to resonate globally, across cultures and generations.
Get ready to rediscover your inner child, maybe, to challenge some long-held adult assumptions.
Oh, absolutely.
And perhaps, to look at the stars with entirely new eyes. Let's unpack this.
Okay, so Chapter 1, The Narrator's Awakening. Our deep dive begins right here with the narrator as a pilot. And he immediately sets this reflective, almost melancholic tone, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Definitely melancholic.
Yeah. He feels profoundly misunderstood by adults. That comes across so strongly from the very first page. They're constantly bogged down by what he calls these matters of consequence.
Matters of consequence, right. It's clear from the outset that he sees the world through, a radically different lens than most grown-ups seem to.
And what truly stands out in this opening, I think, is how Saint-Exupéry immediately establishes this central critique of narrow-mindedness. It's almost like the foundation for the whole story. That childhood drawing he talks about, the boa constrictor swallowing an elephant.
The one everyone thinks is a hat.
Exactly, which adults consistently mistake for a mere hat. It perfectly encapsulates the adult world's pervasive inability to see beyond the literal. To grasp imagination or to perceive deeper, less tangible truths.
So it's not just about art. No, not at all. It's a profound statement about perception itself. It suggests that adults, as they, grow up, they seem to lose this crucial lens of imagination. They start prioritizing practicality, cold facts, measurable outcomes over wonder, intuition, and the rich possibilities of what could be.
That makes sense.
And then you look at the historical context. This was written during World War II. Saint-Exupéry was in exile in the U.S. at the time. He was undoubtedly grappling with immense frustration, seeing a world consumed by devastating conflict and this rigid, often destructive practicality.
A world where imagination seemed dangerous, maybe?
Or just absent.
Yeah.
A world where the ability to imagine different solutions, to empathize, or to see beyond the immediate, tangible gain seemed utterly lost. So this opening chapter becomes this powerful yearning for that lost childlike wonder, a quality that appears tragically missing in a world at war.
It's truly striking how that image resonates, even today. And it makes me wonder, is this just about individuals losing imagination, or maybe also about, societal pressure?
Yeah.
The pressure to conform, to see things in that practical way, even if it feels incomplete.
Oh, that's a really astute observation. And I believe he absolutely was critiquing systemic thinking just as much as individual perception.
Ah, okay.
Think about it. How often in modern U.S. society, especially maybe in our educational systems or even in corporate environments, children's creative, outside-the-box ideas are kind of swiftly dismissed in favor of realistic or practical paths.
Right. Get your head out of the clouds.
Exactly. We push for STEM fields, for measurable outcomes, sometimes at the expense of fostering true creativity or critical thinking that just doesn't fit a standardized test. Or picture a corporate meeting. Someone throws out a disruptive, innovative idea, something that could truly change a paradigm. And it gets immediately shut down because it doesn't neatly fit existing boxes or metrics, or because you can't immediately quantify it on a spreadsheet.
That happens all the time.
It's the adult hat mindset dominating completely overlooking the potential boa constrictor of insight hidden inside. It's this constant battle, isn't it, between what is immediately apparent and what requires a deeper imaginative look. And often, society rewards the former over the latter.
So the real revelation here isn't just that imagination is crucial, but that it's often kind of systemically suppressed in adulthood. It challenges us then to reclaim that imaginative lens, to see deeper truths beyond the obvious, the measurable, or what society just tells us is important.
Precisely. It's a call to see differently right from the start.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, Chapter 2. A Desert Encounter. Building on that idea of shifting perspective, the story just catapults us into something really extraordinary. Our disillusioned pilot, he's grounded, quite literally, by his plane crash in the Sahara.
The middle of nowhere.
Exactly. This vast, unforgiving desert. He finds himself in the scene of just extreme isolation. And
then, in that desolate expanse, he meets this golden-haired boy from another world, the little prince.
It's truly magical, isn't it? Almost surreal, appearing out of nowhere like that.
What's fascinating here, I think, is the sheer unexpectedness, the almost miraculous nature of the connection that forms in such a desolate and vulnerable environment. Think about it. A scene of extreme isolation, vulnerability. The pilot's crashed. He's alone, in danger, limited resources in this vast desert.
Survival mode, you'd think.
Right. But then a profound human bond immediately forms. And not over survival strategies, but over the simplest, most innocent request. A drawing of a sheep.
A sheep.
A sheep. And this is where Saint-Exupéry is reflecting his own real-life experience as a pilot. He actually survived a harrowing desert crash in 1935.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this personal history adds immense authenticity, this raw, emotional depth to the narrative. It grounds the magical encounter in a stark life-or-death reality. The desert, in this sense, becomes like a crucible for authentic connection.
A crucible. I like that.
It strips away all the societal pretenses, the artificial barriers, forcing this pure, unadulterated interaction. It's a powerful reminder that true connections don't necessarily require ideal circumstances. They often emerge from shared vulnerability and just a willingness to engage with the unexpected.
It's remarkable, isn't it, how a shared moment of fragility and almost existential crisis can create such an immediate, deep connection over something as, well, whimsical as a drawing. You'd think the initial focus would be entirely on survival, fixing the plane, but it immediately pivots to something far more fundamental, more human.
Indeed. And consider how often, maybe in sprawling U.S. cities, we're physically surrounded by millions of people, but we can feel incredibly isolated, disconnected.
Oh, definitely.
We pass countless strangers daily without a glance. Yet sometimes, in moments of shared crisis, like a natural disaster, a blizzard that knocks out power, or even a smaller shared struggle, like a community coming together to solve a local problem, strangers connect in profound and lasting ways.
You see that after big events, yeah.
Well,
People helping each other.
Exactly. Think of the impromptu communities that form in shelters after a hurricane or tornado. People from vastly different walks of life suddenly find common ground, unexpected kinship. Or, even more commonly now, think of how powerful online communities can be. Formed around niche interests, shared passions, people from totally disparate backgrounds find unexpected kinship, deep connection online.
True.
In all these cases, a common struggle or a shared curiosity bridges divides. Just like the unforgiving desert and the simple request for a sheep drawing do for the pilot and the prince, it's about that shared human moment, stripping away the superfluous stuff.
So this chapter's core insight, then, is that profound connection can blossom in the most unexpected, maybe even the most vulnerable places. It reminds us that being open to the unanticipated, even when we feel isolated, is often when the deepest, most authentic bonds are forged.
Absolutely. Be open to the sheep drawing, essentially.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates.
Now, as our journey continues, Chapter 3 gives us our first real glimpse into the Little Prince's world. Asteroid B612.
Right, his home. And it's described as a planet barely bigger than he is, with 3 tiny volcanoes, 2 active, 1 extinct, and this single unique rose.
It's almost unbelievably small, yet the way he speaks of it, there's such immense care, such deep responsibility in his voice.
Yeah, it's not just a place, it's his place.
Exactly. And when we connect this to the bigger picture, Saint-Exupéry's description, which is playful, but also really poignant of this miniature world, it functions as a subtle yet profound critique. A critique of grandiosity, maybe. and a yearning for simplicity.
Perfect.
Well, remember the context again. World War II raging, monumental global upheaval, these grand destructive ideologies dominating the world stage. In the midst of all that, the author expresses this deep longing for simplicity. He underscores the vital importance of caring for one's own immediate small planet.
Ah, I see. Your own little corner of the universe.
Precisely. This chapter masterfully sets up the prince's central emotional journey and his profound innate sense of responsibility. It questions that pervasive human tendency to overlook what is small, personal, and deeply significant, often favoring the grand, the sweeping, and, let's be honest, too often the empty gestures.
It really forces us to ask, doesn't it? Are we so focused on the vast and distant that we neglect the precious things right here, right in front of us?
It's such a powerful contrast. The tiny, intensely personal world of the prince versus the vast, chaotic human world he's about to explore. It immediately makes you think about what we truly prioritize in our own lives. Do we value the scale or do we value the substance?
That's a great question.
Think about the pervasive obsession with scaling up or growth in American business and culture. We constantly hear about bigger markets, larger profits, endless expansion, often at any cost.
It's the mantra, isn't it? Grow or die.
Right. But this often leads us to neglect our immediate surroundings, our local communities, sometimes even our personal well-being, all in pursuit of something perpetually bigger. This chapter serves as a vital reminder of the immense value in nurturing what is small, personal, and within our direct sphere of influence.
Like what, specifically?
Well, it could be our physical home, the health of our intimate relationships, that local park down the street that sustains our spirit, or even our own mental and emotional garden.
Taking care of yourself.
Exactly. It pushes us to consider, what are the small planets in our own lives? The truly significant but easily overlooked things that we might be neglecting in our relentless pursuit of something grander or more quantifiable. It's a quiet but insistent call to cherish and tend to the essential, right where we are.
This chapter's fundamental truth, then, is that profound responsibilities and unique beauty exist even in the smallest of worlds, literally and figuratively. It's a call to tend to our own gardens with diligent care, because that's often where true meaning takes root and, well, blossoms.
Beautifully put. It's about mindful stewardship of what's close.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, Chapter 4. The Grown-Ups World. The narrator, he continues his sort of lament about grown-ups here.
Yeah, he circles back to them.
Specifically, their almost obsessive fixation on numbers and cold, hard facts. He says they care about the precise size of asteroid B612, the astronomical designation.
B612. Right.
But they completely miss its intangible, profound significance. They miss the unique emotional connection the prince has to it.
Which, of course, raises that important question again for all of us. What do we truly value? Saint-Exupéry's satirical tone here is incredibly sharp, almost biting. He's really poking fun at adult priorities.
It does feel quite pointed.
Especially in the context of 1940s Europe. Think about it. Bureaucracy, statistics, the cold calculations of war, utterly dominating public discourse and daily life. His critique feels incredibly poignant and direct. He isn't just making a casual observation, he's challenging you, the listener, to fundamentally reevaluate your priorities, to prioritize curiosity, wonder, human connection over cold calculation and quantitative metrics.
So it's a direct confrontation with a certain mindset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What we might call the utilitarian mindset, where everything must be quantified, measured, rigorously proven by numbers to have any perceived worth.
If you can't count it, it doesn't count.
Sort of, yeah. But the prince, on the other hand, he instinctively values the unmeasurable.
Like
Love, inherent beauty, pure wonder, the profound, irreplaceable uniqueness of his home and his rose. He understands that some things simply cannot and should not be reduced to data points.
it's such a stark contrast between two very different ways of seeing the world, isn't it?
It really is. One is analytical, detached, focused on data points. The other is emotional, deeply personal, valuing what's felt. And consider the pervasive, data-driven culture in the U.S. today. We're just bombarded with metrics, aren't we?
Everywhere.
Social media likes, shares, followers, corporate KPIs, the way we often reduce complex human experiences, grief, joy, love, to quantifiable data points in surveys or algorithms.
Right, you fill out a form about your satisfaction level.
Exactly. We frequently hear questions like, how big is it? How much does it cost? How many people follow? What's the ROI? But how rarely do we pause to ask, how does it make you feel? What unique subjective meaning does it hold for you or for others? What irreplaceable beauty does it possess that simply cannot be measured?
Good point. We don't ask those questions nearly enough.
So this chapter serves as this powerful mirror, making us question if we're consistently prioritizing the spreadsheets and the measurables over the soul, the immeasurable, the truly meaningful aspects of life. It challenges us to look beyond the numbers and connect with the deeper essence of things and people.
The profound lesson here is that true value extends far beyond measurable facts. It resides in the heart's perspective, in the things invisible to the eyes. It prompts us to ask what we might be missing by only counting right.
Precisely. What crucial essence are we overlooking?
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. All right, moving on to Chapter 5, The Baobabs and the Rose. Here, the little prince shares a really critical aspect of his daily life on asteroid B612, this constant threat of baobab trees.
Ah, yes, the baobabs.
He explains that if they're not dealt with really early, when they're just tiny shoots,
When they look like rose bushes.
right, they can completely overwhelm and literally shatter his tiny planet.
And then, juxtaposed with that threat, there's his tender, almost obsessive care for his single, unique rose.
It's a fascinating pair.
It's a profoundly powerful metaphor woven throughout the narrative.
Yeah.
The baobabs, they represent these insidious, neglected problems, things that, if ignored or allowed to take root, just grow completely out of control and can ultimately destroy everything.
So like bad habits or bigger societal things.
Both, I think. In Saint-Exupéry's era, it was widely seen as a clear, unmistakable nod to the creeping dangers of fascism and authoritarianism.
Ah, okay, that makes sense for the time.
These ideologies were allowed to grow unchecked across Europe, eventually leading to global war. So it's this fervent call to vigilance, to proactive care, urging us not to dismiss small issues before you become insurmountable threats.
Not pull the weeds when they're small.
Exactly. And the contrast between these destructive baobabs and the delicate yet demanding rose is absolutely crucial. It immediately introduces these intertwined themes of love and duty. It meticulously shows that nurturing what truly matters in life, like the rose, representing unique relationships, personal responsibilities.
The things you choose to care for.
Right. That nurturing requires constant, diligent effort and unwavering vigilance against the destructive forces, the baobabs that threaten to overwhelm it. It's a daily commitment, not a one-time fix.
So it's not just about a pretty plant and a menacing tree. It's a profound lesson in responsibility, both personal and societal. The implications of neglect are huge.
Precisely. Think about societal issues in the U.S. that start seemingly small but can become overwhelmingly intractable if neglected.
Like what comes to mind for you?
Well, pervasive environmental concerns, like climate change, for one, deepening political polarization that fragments communities, systemic inequalities that fester and cause widespread suffering, or even the growing mental health crises among our youth and adults.
Those are big ones.
Yeah. If we don't address these baobabs early, with consistent and determined effort, they can metaphorically consume our entire planet, our communities, our democracy, our collective well-being. And on a more personal level, it's about tending to our relationships, our physical health, our financial stability, before small issues spiral into insurmountable problems.
Like having that difficult conversation with a loved one before resentment just builds and builds.
Exactly that. Or taking steps to address a health concern before it becomes chronic. This chapter tells us that consistent, seemingly small acts of prevention are far more effective than trying to fix catastrophic problems once they've taken over.
This chapter's core insight, then, is that these small, consistent acts of care are vital, they prevent chaos, and they're absolutely essential for nurturing meaningful connections and, well, a thriving existence. It urges us to be proactive guardians of our own planets.
Well said. Vigilance and care, hand in hand.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, Chapter 6, The Prince's Heart. As the narrative unfolds here, we really start to see the little prince's vulnerability, don't we?
We do. It deepens considerably.
His profound sadness over his rose, it really comes through. It reveals just how much he truly loves her, despite all her very evident imperfections and sometimes her demanding nature.
What's truly fascinating here is the sheer emotional depth Saint-Exupéry imbues into this seemingly simple narrative. Remember, he himself was grappling with this profound sense of exile, personal separation, immense loss during the darkest days of wartime.
That context is so important.
It is. He pours his own yearning for connection into the prince's feelings. The prince's melancholy. It's far from being a weakness or some childish whim. It's actually a powerful testament to the overwhelming depth of his love, the investment he has made.
Right, the sadness shows how much it mattered.
Exactly. This chapter emphasizes a critical truth, that genuine love isn't about seeking or demanding perfection. It's about seeing, acknowledging, and ultimately embracing flaws and idiosyncrasies. The prince's sadness shows the deep emotional investment he has made in his unique rose, and how love, while bringing immense joy and fulfillment, inherently carries with it the potential for pain and vulnerability.
It's a beautifully raw depiction of love, isn't it? It's not the fairy tale version, perfect and unblemished.
Not at all.
It's something far more real and, in a way, much stronger because of its imperfections.
Indeed. And in a culture often driven by curated perfection. I mean, just look at social media platforms where everyone presents this idealized version of their lives.
Yeah, the highlight reel.
Exactly. This chapter stands as a refreshing and, I think, much-needed counterpoint. It reminds us that true, resilient relationships, whether romantic, familial, or deep platonic friendships, are not built on an illusion of flawless perfection. Instead, they're built on the courage to acknowledge, accept, and even embrace imperfections.
That takes guts, though, to be vulnerable like that.
It does. Think about how much more authentic, profound, and resilient relationships become when people are brave enough to show their vulnerabilities, their true selves. Rather than maintaining a facade that everything is always perfect or that they have no struggles, it's in those moments of shared vulnerability and acceptance of flaws that genuine intimacy and lasting bonds are truly forged.
So it's about connection, not presentation.
Precisely.
The profound lesson here is that true love involves accepting imperfections and embracing vulnerability. It's in those very flaws that uniqueness truly shines, deepening connections and revealing a more authentic beauty than any ideal could possibly hold.
Well put. Love sees the flaws and loves anyway.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. All right, Chapter 7, The Price of Love. In this chapter, the narrator, our pilot, he gets increasingly frustrated.
Yeah, you can feel his impatience growing.
Right. He's frustrated by the prince's intense, almost singular focus on his rose, especially given their urgent, life-threatening situation. They're stuck in the desert.
The plane needs fixing.
Exactly, but their conversation, it deeply reveals the prince's profound fear of losing her, which underpins his intense concern for her safety, even from afar.
This particular interaction, it highlights a really gripping emotional pivot.
Yeah.
And it exposes a core tension that runs through so much of human experience.
Which is?
The clash between cold, hard practicality and deep, often seemingly illogical emotion.
Okay, head versus heart.
Essentially, yes. Saint-Exupéry, still wrestling with the harsh realities of wartime displacement, separation from loved ones, the ever-present threat of loss. He powerfully explores the profound nature of attachment here. He challenges us, the listeners, to consider what we would truly sacrifice for love, and how our deepest attachments profoundly drive our actions, even when those actions might seem utterly impractical or illogical to others who don't share that same emotional bond.
Like the narrator doesn't get why the rose matters so much right now.
Precisely. This scene vividly demonstrates that for the prince, and perhaps for all of us, some things are considered far more valuable, far more essential than mere physical survival or logical expediency. It's the intrinsic worth of the connection that overrides all else.
It's the ultimate test of values, isn't it? When survival is on the line, when everything is stripped away, what truly matters just rises to the surface.
Yeah, it shows you your deepest priorities.
It absolutely does, and we often see this tension playing out in the U.S. context, right?
How so?
Well, think about the relentless practical pursuit of the American dream, which is frequently defined by material success, career advancement, quantifiable achievements, versus the deep, often unquantifiable, emotional need for genuine connection, quality family time, or personal fulfillment.
That's a great example. The work-life balance struggle.
Exactly. Consider, for example, a parent who makes the deliberate choice to sacrifice significant career advancement or a higher salary to spend more precious time with a child during their formative years.
Even if other offers seem more logical on paper.
Right. Or think of someone who chooses to stay in a challenging or even less financially rewarding job because of the incredibly strong bonds they've built with colleagues or the unique sense of purpose they feel in that specific role.
Despite other opportunities that might offer more money or prestige.
Yeah. This chapter makes us pause and deeply reflect. What do you truly value enough to sacrifice for? Is it comfort or is it connection? Is it What's logical or what just tugs at your heart?
It's a confronting question.
The powerful truth here is that love demands sacrifice, but its true worth transcends practical or measurable concerns. It's like an emotional currency, far richer than anything else, compelling us to choose what truly resonates with the heart.
The currency of the heart. I like that.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Moving into Chapter 8, The Rose's Spell. The little prince, he's still talking to the pilot here, recounting these frustrating but ultimately endearing details about his rose.
Yeah, her vanity comes up.
Her vanity, her constant demands, her sometimes theatrical self-importance.
She sounds like hard work.
She does, yet despite all her clear flaws, his adoration for her only seems to grow, not diminish. It's quite fascinating.
What's truly fascinating here is how Saint-Exupéry, even amidst a backdrop of his own intense personal and global turmoil, or world war, exile, he expresses this unwavering belief in the truly redemptive power of love.
Redemptive. Interesting.
Yeah. The rose is undeniably flawed, self-centered, maybe even manipulative at times. Yet the prince's unwavering devotion somehow transforms those very flaws into something unique, essential, and utterly enchanting in his eyes. It's a remarkably nuanced portrayal of love, one that actively sees and acknowledges imperfections, yet still manages to find profound beauty and distinction within them.
So love isn't blind here.
Not at all. This chapter beautifully shows that love isn't blind. It sees flaws, it acknowledges them, and it still chooses to cherish and hold dear. It's about the unique, irreplaceable bond formed precisely despite, or perhaps even because of, the quirks and demands that make a person, or a rose, truly distinctive and individual.
So it's not about loving an ideal, but loving the reality, warts and all. That's a profound distinction. It asks us to shift our perception from what we expect to what is.
Exactly. And think about how we often interact with things in the U.S. that are perfectly imperfect, and how much we cherish them. Consider a beloved, quirky local business in your town. Maybe it has uneven floors, a cluttered storefront, a slightly eccentric owner.
Yeah, the place with character.
Right. But it has character in history that a sterile chain store simply can't replicate. Or an old, imperfect house that holds immense sentimental value for a family, despite its creaks, drafts, quirks that might drive a less sentimental person crazy.
My grandmother's house was exactly like that.
See? We often cherish these things, not because they are objectively perfect, but because their imperfections make them unique, give them character, and render them truly irreplaceable. And this applies even more profoundly to people. The specific quirks of our loved ones, the slightly annoying habits, the peculiar sayings, the charming eccentricities.
Things that might initially get under our skin.
Right. They often become the very things we remember most, and ironically, miss most deeply when they're gone. It's those distinctive qualities born of imperfection that forge the deepest, most resilient bonds.
The key insight from this chapter is profoundly beautiful then. Love possesses the transformative power to turn perceived flaws into unique, irreplaceable qualities, making the object of our affection special beyond compare because it's our love and investment that imbues them with this magic.
It's the alchemy of affection.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, Chapter 9. The Prince's Departure. In this chapter, the little prince prepares to leave his planet asteroid B612.
A significant moment.
It is. He diligently cleans out his volcanoes, even the extinct one, just in case.
Taking care of things right up to the end.
Yeah. And he bids this very bittersweet farewell to his beloved Rose. And then, with this mixture of sadness but also determination, he sets off on his interstellar journey.
This entire sequence, it embodies a deeply universal theme, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Personal growth, evolution. It often necessitates leaving behind what's familiar, comfortable, known, despite the inherent pain and sadness that separation brings.
Growth isn't always comfortable.
Rarely is. And Saint-Exupéry, remember, he's in exile himself, living far from his native France during wartime. He infuses this chapter with a profound, palpable sense of longing for home, coupled with the immense courage it takes to step into the vast unknown.
You can really feel that longing.
Absolutely. The prince's quiet resolve to seek answers, to seek understanding beyond the confines of his tiny world, is a powerful testament to personal evolution. It shows that sometimes the only way to truly grow is to venture beyond your comfort zone, even if it hurts.
And those little rituals, the cleaning the volcanoes, the goodbye.
They're not just narrative details. They vividly show the prince's deep sense of duty and his profound emotional attachment. The pain of leaving is undeniably real, a deep ache. But the call for understanding, for new experience, is ultimately stronger. It propels him forward.
So it's not about abandoning, is it? It's about evolving, even if that evolution requires a difficult parting. It sounds like growth is rarely without some kind of emotional cost.
Precisely. Think of young Americans, maybe fresh out of high school or college, leaving their hometowns and families for the first time.
Going off to college far away, or taking that first job in a new city.
Exactly. It's always a complex mixture, isn't it? Exhilarating excitement for the future, but also deep sadness for what's left behind. The comforting familiarity of family, cherished friends, established routines, the very landscape of home.
Yeah, that push and pull is real.
Or consider the significant life decision, maybe to pivot careers in midlife, leaving behind a comfortable but perhaps unfulfilling path for a new, uncertain one that aligns more deeply with personal values.
That takes enormous courage.
It does. And this chapter powerfully reminds us that courage isn't the absence of fear or sadness. It's the profound willingness to acknowledge those emotions, feel them deeply, and then still choose to move forward and embrace the journey despite them. It's about taking that brave step into the unknown, because the pull of growth and understanding is just too strong to resist.
The central idea here is that growth often demands leaving behind the familiar, however painful that may be, in pursuit of deeper understanding or a new, more fulfilling path, knowing that the journey itself brings transformation.
Yeah, the departure is the start of something crucial.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. All right, Chapter 10, The King's Throne. The prince begins his interstellar travels, exploring other asteroids.
His grand tour begins.
And the first planet he lands on is ruled by a king who claims to govern everything, the stars, the sun.
But hilariously, has absolutely no subjects. He's all alone.
Right, it's just him in his ermine robe on this tiny planet.
This is where Saint-Exupéry's satire truly shines. He's mocking the sheer absurdity of hollow authority with masterful precision. Written, again, during the brutal rise of authoritarian regimes and dictators in the 1940s. This chapter serves as a scathing critique of meaningless power. Power that exists purely for its own sake, devoid of genuine connection, true responsibility, or any real purpose in serving others.
Power without people.
Exactly. The king's commands are utterly meaningless because he has no one to command. His proclamations just fall on deaf ears, or rather into empty space. His authority is entirely self-proclaimed, baseless. It lacks any foundation in reality, mutual respect, or the consent of the governed.
He makes the prince a minister of justice, but there's no one to judge.
Precisely. It's a vivid, almost farcical illustration of power, completely divorced from purpose, from impact, or from genuine human connection. He's a ruler of nothing but his own ego.
It's power for power's sake, isn't it? An exercise in futility. He's just a man playing dress-up with an imaginary kingdom, and it's almost laughable how isolated he is by his own self-importance.
Indeed. And consider bureaucratic systems in the U.S. sometimes, ones that seem to exist only to perpetuate themselves or to maintain an illusion of control rather than serving their original public purpose.
Yeah, red tape for red tape's sake.
Or think of certain leaders or figures who claim grand authority, speak with great pronouncements, but utterly fail to connect with, understand, or genuinely serve their constituents. They operate in a vacuum of self-importance.
We see examples of that. Paper power or title power.
Exactly. That, upon closer inspection, lacks any real influence or substantive impact because it's not rooted in genuine connection, shared values, or selfless service. It's a position of authority without any actual relationships to give it weight.
So this chapter forces us to question how much true authority such positions or individuals really hold when they are so detached.
Is it really power if no one listens, or if it doesn't serve a tangible good?
This chapter's core insight is that true authority stems from connection and a meaningful relationship with those you lead, not from empty commands or self-declared titles. It highlights that genuine influence is earned through respect, not just imposed by decree.
Authority requires relationship. That's the heart of it.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, next stop on the journey. Chapter 11, The Conceited Man.
The admirer.
Yes. The little prince encounters a man who lives alone on his tiny planet, but constantly craves admiration and applause. He makes the prince tip his hat so he can acknowledge the greeting.
And demands that the prince clap for him, telling him it means admire.
Right. It's all about being admired.
This is Saint-Exupéry's sharp wit again, cutting straight to the folly and emptiness of vanity and ego. Remember the 1940s context. Relentless propaganda fueling nationalistic egos, self-aggrandizement across many nations. This critique felt incredibly timely and pointed.
It's timeless too, though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It vividly exposes the profound emptiness of seeking external approval without any genuine purpose, meaningful contribution, or real connection to others. The conceited man is tragically trapped in this self-defeating feedback loop of self-admiration.
How so?
He desperately needs others to affirm his existence, to applaud his presence. But his overwhelming self-absorption, his inability to look beyond himself, prevents him from forming any real reciprocal connections.
He only wants admirers, not friends.
Exactly. His profound isolation is a direct and tragic result of his unbridled vanity. He pushes away the very validation he craves by being so relentlessly self-absorbed.
It sounds like a cautionary tale for our modern world, too. I mean, especially with social media, where the pursuit of likes and followers can easily overshadow the pursuit of genuine relationships.
It absolutely is. Think of the pervasive obsession with social media likes, follows, comments, curated online personas in contemporary U.S. culture.
Yeah.
Many individuals, not just young people, seem to seek constant validation from strangers, meticulously crafting a performative existence.
The personal brand.
Right, rather than cultivating genuine, deep, and vulnerable relationships in the real world. This chapter serves as a stark reminder that while external validation might feel momentarily good, that fleeting dopamine hit, it very often leads to profound loneliness and isolation if it isn't grounded in meaningful, authentic interaction and, crucially, self-acceptance.
It's a vicious cycle, then. The more you crave external validation without inner substance, the more isolated you become from true connection.
Precisely. He can't hear anything but praise.
The profound lesson here is that vanity ultimately isolates, while genuine connection is what truly enriches and fulfills. It offers a depth and lasting satisfaction that superficial praise, well, it never can.
Connection over conceit. Simple but powerful.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. All right, Chapter 12, The Drunkard Cycle. The prince then meets a drunkard who is caught in this truly tragic and vicious cycle.
This one's quite somber.
It is. He drinks to forget his shame.
Only to feel more shame, precisely because he drinks.
It's this self-perpetuating, despairing loop he can't seem to break.
Saint-Exupéry's tone here is deeply evocative. It creates a scene that evokes both immense pity but also profound introspection in the reader, or listener. Written during that time of widespread societal despair, the trauma of war. This chapter reflects the author's deep concern for those trapped in self-destructive patterns, these cycles of avoidance.
Yeah, you feel for the guy, even though his logic is so twisted.
Exactly. It's a powerful, empathetic, yet unsparing look at the human tendency to avoid pain, to try and escape uncomfortable truths, which ironically only deepens and entrenches the very pain they are trying to forget. The drunkard's logic is painfully circular and utterly self-defeating.
He's stuck.
Completely. It illustrates with chilling clarity how avoiding an uncomfortable truth or a difficult emotion can lead to a deeper, more insidious entrapment, where the supposed escape becomes the very source of the problem, perpetuating the cycle endlessly.
It's a really stark portrayal of how avoidance can become its own prison. It highlights the futility of trying to escape your problems without actually confronting them head-on.
And this is such a potent reflection on addiction and self-sabotage that resonates incredibly strongly in the U.S. today.
In what ways?
Well, whether we're talking about substance abuse, problem gambling, compulsive shopping, or even more subtle, unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Like what?
Like chronic overworking, maybe? Endless scrolling on social media. Constantly seeking external distractions. The underlying pattern is often the same. We frequently use these behaviors as temporary escapes to avoid facing uncomfortable realities, painful emotions, or difficult conversations.
Numbing out.
Exactly. But in doing so, we often find ourselves even more deeply entrenched in the very problems we initially sought to escape. This chapter serves as a profound, albeit gentle, prompt for us to consider our own cycles of avoidance. What are we running from? What uncomfortable truths are we unwilling to face? And what self-defeating patterns might we be caught in as a result?
It's a call to honest self-reflection, really,
Yeah.
and the courage to break those cycles.
Yeah, it takes courage.
The key insight here is that facing pain and uncomfortable truths directly is the crucial first step to breaking free from self-imposed traps and cycles, no matter how daunting that might seem. True freedom begins with honesty, doesn't it?
It has to. There's no other way out of the loop.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates.
Okay, Chapter 13. The Businessman's Stars. Next up, the little prince meets a businessman.
Another memorable character.
Definitely. He's obsessively counting stars, claiming to own them.
Just claiming them, like property.
Yeah, but for no apparent purpose other than the sheer act of possession itself. He's just accumulating numbers, like a cosmic accountant with no goal beyond the counting.
This is another incredibly sharp piece of satire from Saint-Exupéry, one that vividly critiques unchecked materialism and ambition purely for ambition's sake. Again, think of the context. Wartime greed, nations and individuals scrambling for resources, hoarding wealth. His message is particularly resonant and biting.
Accumulation for its own sake.
Exactly. He challenges us, the listeners, to look deeply beyond mere acquisition and constantly ask, what is the purpose of our possessions, our wealth, our ceaseless pursuits? The businessman represents this destructive, hollow form of ownership, one that utterly lacks utility, beauty, or any genuine connection.
He doesn't even look at the stars, does he? No. He owns the stars, this seemingly vast empire, but he does absolutely nothing with them. They don't make his life richer in any meaningful, experiential way, nor do they help or uplift others. It's a profoundly hollow pursuit, devoid of meaning or joy. He's too busy counting to appreciate.
So it's not just about accumulating, but what that accumulation actually serves. If it doesn't enhance your life or the lives of others, what's the point?
That's the core question. And it's so relevant to U.S. consumer culture, where accumulation often becomes an end in itself. We're constantly encouraged to acquire more, buy the latest model, upgrade our lives, sometimes without pausing to consider the why.
Keeping up with the Joneses, or the Kardashians now, maybe.
Right. Think about the concept of hoarding immense wealth without any philanthropic purpose or meaningful investment back into society, or buying progressively bigger houses just for the sake of filling them, without necessarily cultivating deeper family connections or community engagement within those spaces. Or consider the relentless pursuit of endless economic growth, often without adequately considering its profound environmental or social costs.
Growth at all costs.
Yeah. This chapter pointedly challenges the pervasive American ideal of more is better by forcing us to ask, is more truly better if that more doesn't translate into genuine meaning, richer connections, or a positive impact on the world around us? It's a clear call to seek purpose, not just possession.
The powerful revelation here is that ownership without meaning is a truly hollow pursuit. It emphasizes that real value lies not in what you possess, but in what you do with it, and the tangible or intangible meaning it brings to your life and the lives of others.
Purpose over possession, another key theme.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates.
All right, Chapter 14, The Lamplighter's Duty. The prince encounters a lamplighter on another very tiny planet.
This one's interesting because the prince actually respects him initially.
He does, because his work seems useful, unlike the others. His singular duty is to light and extinguish his lamp tirelessly,
Following orders.
following an outdated order on a planet that now spins faster and faster once a minute. Making his task increasingly impossible and frantic, he has no rest. What's truly fascinating here is the poignant, almost tragic portrayal of duty taken to its absolute extreme. It becomes a trap rather than a noble calling. Saint-Exupéry, having directly witnessed the dangers of blind obedience and unquestioning adherence to orders during the war, uses the lamplighter to subtly yet powerfully question unthinking loyalty and the rigid adherence to rules without a clear current purpose.
He's dutiful, even noble in his dedication.
Absolutely. But his actions have become utterly absurd, divorced from logic or any reasonable outcome. He's just following orders that make no sense anymore.
He's tracked by the rule.
Completely trapped by a sense of obligation that has lost its original meaning or efficacy. His planet spins faster and faster, making his task physically impossible to complete properly, yet he persists, driven only by the antiquated order. Orders are orders. This highlights the profound dangers of following orders without critical thought or allowing a sense of duty to override reason, adaptability, and even one's own well-being.
So it's about the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law, maybe, and the danger of losing sight of the spirit entirely. It's almost a warning about how easily we can fall into mindless routines.
Precisely. And consider countless examples in the U.S. where bureaucratic processes or long-standing traditions are followed blindly, often to the detriment of efficiency, common sense, or human well-being, simply because that's how we've always done it.
Oh yeah, that phrase is the enemy of progress sometimes.
Right. Think of outdated regulations that no longer serve their original purpose, but continue to create red tape and frustration. Or corporate policies that make absolutely no sense in the modern context, but are still rigidly enforced because the rule book says so, even when they hinder innovation or customer service.
You see that a lot.
This chapter asks us to deeply reflect on our own commitments, both personal and professional. Are we truly serving a valuable purpose with our actions? Or are we just adhering to a routine, a tradition, a set of orders, without critically examining why? It challenges us to reclaim agency in our work and responsibilities, ensuring our efforts are meaningful, not just methodical.
The profound insight here is that while duty is noble, blind adherence to rules or routines can lead us to lose sight of the original purpose. It's crucial to question why we do what we do, ensuring our actions remain meaningful and adaptable.
Purposeful duty, not blind obedience. That's the key.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Next up, Chapter 15, The Geographer's Maps. The prince encounters a geographer, an old gentleman writing in enormous books.
He seems very important, very scholarly.
He does. He creates incredibly detailed maps of the world, mountains, rivers, deserts. But surprisingly, he has never actually explored his own planet.
He waits for explorers to come to him.
Exactly. He relies entirely on others' reports and theoretical knowledge. He won't even map his own planet because he's not an explorer.
This is Saint-Exupéry's poignant critique of detached knowledge, of intellectualism that becomes utterly divorced from lived experience. In a world increasingly saturated with theoretical debates, abstract models, an overwhelming amount of secondhand information, a trend growing then and exploded since.
Oh yeah, information overload is real.
Right. The author issues this powerful, direct call for genuine, hands-on engagement with life. The geographer perfectly represents those who accumulate vast amounts of knowledge from books, reports, data, but who tragically lack any direct, personal, experiential understanding of the world they claim to describe.
He knows about things, but doesn't know them.
Precisely. His knowledge, while extensive in theory, is abstract. It lacks the richness, the depth, the true meaning that only comes from personal encounter and direct interaction with reality. He knows of the world, but he doesn't know the world.
So it's not enough to just read about something. You have to experience it for it to truly resonate and become meaningful. It's the difference between information and wisdom, maybe.
That's precisely the point. Think about the profound difference between reading a comprehensive guidebook about, say, the Grand Canyon, versus actually standing on the rim, feeling the vastness, seeing the colors change, hiking down into it, feeling the heat.
No comparison.
None. Or consider the difference between studying statistics about poverty or social injustice versus volunteering your time in a soup kitchen, or directly engaging with individuals affected by these issues, hearing their stories firsthand. In the U.S., with the ubiquitous rise of information overload and the digital age, it's incredibly easy to mistake the consumption of vast amounts of data and articles for genuine, embodied understanding.
Becoming an armchair expert.
Exactly, without ever stepping outside our conceptual comfort zones. This chapter serves as a crucial reminder that knowledge truly gains its deepest meaning, its most profound value, and its lasting impact through lived experience. Through direct engagement with the world around us, it's about getting your hands dirty, quite literally and figuratively.
The key insight from this chapter is that knowledge gains its deepest meaning and true value through lived experience and direct exploration, not just through abstract theories or maps. It urges us to be participants, not just observers, in our own lives and learning.
Get out there and explore your own planet, basically.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, Chapter 16, Earth's Vastness. On the geographer's advice, the little prince finally arrives on Earth.
The big destination.
And he's completely overwhelmed by its immense size, its vibrant complexity, the sheer number of people the geographer told him about.
It's a huge shift from his tiny asteroid, isn't it? A true sensory and conceptual overload.
Totally. He lands in the desert, so initially it feels empty, but the idea of Earth is huge to him.
This is where Saint-Exupéry's poetic prose truly captures a profound sense of wonder and perspective shift. As he reflected on humanity's often troubled place in the vast universe during that time of global conflict, he invites us, the listeners, to see Earth through fresh, innocent eyes, to truly appreciate its incredible diversity, its inherent beauty, its ongoing mystery, rather than simply taking it for granted in our daily routines.
See it like an alien would.
Exactly. The prince's awe highlights how our usual adult perspective often shrinks the world down to our immediate concerns, our jobs, our commutes, our personal worries. Seeing Earth through the unjaded eyes of someone from a tiny asteroid allows us to regain that vital sense of wonder, scale, and boundless possibility that we often lose as we grow older and become bogged down by the mundane.
It's a moment of profound recalibration, isn't it?
It really is like a cosmic reset button forcing you to look at your own home planet with fresh eyes and truly appreciate its magnificent scale and complexity. Imagine taking a moment to truly perceive a bustling American city, say New York or Los Angeles, not just as a collection of buildings and traffic, but as a dynamic tapestry filled with diverse cultures, countless individual stories intersecting, a constant hum of human activity, hopes, dreams, struggles.
It's overwhelming if you really think about it.
It is. Or consider the sheer breathtaking variety of natural landscapes across the U.S. From coast to coast, the soaring Rockies, the vast Great Plains, the lush forests of the Pacific Northwest, the swamps of Louisiana, the deserts of the Southwest. We often get so caught up in our immediate routines, our deadlines, our personal narratives, that we completely forget the incredible scale, variety, and inherent beauty of life around us, even within our own neighborhoods or cities.
We definitely take it for granted.
So this chapter is this powerful prompt to just pause, look up, look around, and consciously reappreciate the vast possibilities, hidden wonders, and intricate beauty within our own planet, Earth. It's an invitation to see the extraordinary in the everyday.
The profound lesson here is that a shift in perspective can radically change how we see the world, revealing its vastness and infinite possibilities that we otherwise overlook. It urges us to embrace wonder in our everyday lives.
See the familiar as unfamiliar again?
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. All right, Chapter 17, The Snake's Riddle. Once he's on Earth, the little prince meets a creature in the desert, a mysterious snake.
The first inhabitant he meets.
And the snake speaks in riddles, doesn't it? Often about life, death, power, and the nature of journeys.
Yeah, very cryptic. Whomever I touch, I send back to the earth from whence he came.
Chilling stuff. It creates this truly haunting, deeply philosophical atmosphere.
And here, Saint-Exupéry begins exploring life's inherent fragility, the inevitability of mortality themes that were particularly poignant and omnipresent during wartime. The snake's cryptic wisdom, though, it's not meant to be feared in a simple, literal sense, I don't think.
No. How should we take it?
It should be pondered, reflected upon. It encourages a profound reflection on the deeper, existential questions of existence, purpose, the cycle of life and death. The snake acts as this unique, almost oracle-like philosophical guide, introducing the complex concept of mortality not just as an ending, but perhaps as a potential return home, as he says, a new beginning, or maybe just a release. Its riddles invite critical thinking, deep introspection. They offer multifaceted insights rather than simplistic, straightforward answers. He speaks truth, but slant.
So the snake isn't necessarily a villain here, but more of a somber, wise teacher, using riddles to reframe something we usually avoid or fear.
That's how I read it. It's about facing existential truths head-on, even the uncomfortable ones.
Right. And in American culture, death is very often a topic to be avoided, isn't it? Sanitized, discussed only in hushed tones. We tend to shy away from its inevitability.
We do. This chapter encourages a profoundly different approach to see life's deepest mysteries, including the cycle of life and death, as an invitation for reflection, contemplation, and ultimately a deeper understanding, rather than as something to be feared or denied.
How does facing it help?
Well, think about how facing the inevitability of change, impermanence, or even profound personal loss can actually bring immense clarity. Urgency, maybe. A renewed sense of appreciation for what truly matters right now.
It strips away the superficial stuff.
Exactly. It can help us focus on our core values, our connections. The snake's words suggest that by acknowledging these difficult truths, we can actually live more fully, more meaningfully.
The core insight here is that life's mysteries, including the cycle of life and death, invite profound reflection and understanding, rather than fear or avoidance. They are integral to the journey and offer deeper insights when confronted with an open mind.
A challenging but necessary perspective.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates.
Okay, Chapter 18, The Flowers Lesson. The little prince, still wandering the earth, encounters a solitary flower in the desert. Little three-petaled flower.
A simple flower, nothing like his rose.
Right. And this seemingly simple encounter becomes a really pivotal moment, actually, because the flower, in its own way, teaches him about the unique value and incomparable beauty of his own rose back on asteroid B612.
How does it do that?
Well, he asks where the men are, and the flower says it only saw a few pass by years ago, blown about by the wind, lacking roots. which makes the prince think about his rooted, albeit demanding, Rose.
Ah, so it's a contrast. This is Saint-Exupéry's tender storytelling again, emphasizing individuality, celebrating uniqueness in a world that often pressures conformity and comparison. It inspires us to deeply value what makes our loved ones, and indeed ourselves, truly special and irreplaceable. Not just because they're different, but because they're ours.
Right, the connection matters. The solitary flower helps the prince realize this crucial distinction. While there are countless flowers in the universe, his rose is special. Not because of some objective, inherent uniqueness, but because of the deep personal connection he has with her. It's the care he's given her, the time he's invested, the shared experiences, the good and the bad they've had. That's what makes her unique to him. It's not about objective comparison, but profound subjective meaning forged through interaction and love.
So it's not about being one of a kind in the universe objectively, but being one of a kind to you. That fundamentally changes how we perceive value and uniqueness in our lives, doesn't it?
It fundamentally shifts the perspective. And in a vast, diverse country like the U.S., it's incredibly easy to get lost in comparison, right?
All the time.
To feel pressure to conform to certain ideals of success, beauty, lifestyle. We see curated images everywhere that can make us feel inadequate or generic. This chapter serves as a powerful reminder that it's our unique qualities, our endearing quirks, and the deeply personal connections we forge that truly make us irreplaceable.
Like a handmade gift versus something expensive but generic.
Exactly. Think of how a handmade gift, even if it's imperfect or less clashy than a store-bought item, often holds infinitely more meaning and sentimental value than a mass-produced, expensive item, precisely because of the personal time, effort, and heart invested in its creation.
Yeah, you feel the person in it.
Or how a beloved community garden, though perhaps similar in layout to others, holds incredibly special meaning to its members because of the collective effort, care, and shared memories invested in it. This helps us reevaluate what truly makes our relationships, our work, or even our possessions genuinely valuable. It's a personal investment in connection, not just the outward appearance or objective rarity.
The profound insight from this chapter is that uniqueness, fostered by personal investment and connection, is what truly makes relationships irreplaceable and special. It teaches us that true value is found in the bond, not just the appearance.
The relationship creates the uniqueness.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. All right, Chapter 19, The Echoes of Mountains. The little prince climbs a tall mountain on Earth.
Seeking perspective, maybe? Or connection?
Could be. And when he calls out, hello, expecting a conversation, he hears only echoes. Hello, hello, hello.
Which he sadly mistakes for actual dialogue from the men he's looking for.
Right, he thinks they're just repeating everything he says, and he feels profoundly lonely in this moment.
This is Saint-Exupéry's melancholic narrative again, reflecting that pervasive isolation often felt during wartime displacement, but also just in periods of deep personal detachment. It's a gentle yet profound critique of superficial understanding, of miscommunication, and a poignant call to actively seek authentic, reciprocal, two-way connection.
So the echoes aren't just sound bouncing back?
Not just literally. Symbolically, the echoes represent superficial interactions, forms of communication where one party merely reflects back what the other has said, without adding anything new, engaging in true dialogue, or offering genuine understanding or empathy. This leads to profound loneliness and a sense of disconnection, even when voices are present, even when there's a semblance of interaction. It's the critical difference between hearing and truly listening, truly engaging.
It's like talking to a wall, isn't it? Or perhaps, yelling into a void and just hearing yourself back. There's no real engagement, no new information, just a reflection of your own voice.
Exactly. And think about conversations you might have experienced where people are seemingly present, physically there, but are just waiting for their turn to speak.
Planning their rebuttal.
Right. Rather than truly listening to understand. Or think about online echo chambers where individuals predominantly hear back only their own opinions and biases, reinforcing existing viewpoints without genuine challenge or new perspectives.
That's a huge issue today.
It is. In our hyper-connected digital society, where information flows constantly but often superficially, genuine understanding and meaningful dialogue can be surprisingly rare. We're often talking at each other or past each other instead of with each other. This chapter serves as a crucial prompt for us to move beyond mere echoes, to actively seek truly mutual understanding, genuine empathy, and reciprocal engagement in all our interactions, whether with friends, family, colleagues, or in broader public discourse. It's about breaking through the surface noise to find real resonance.
The fundamental truth revealed here is that true connection demands mutual understanding and genuine dialogue, not just mere echoes or reflections of ourselves. It requires active participation, deep listening, and an open heart from everyone involved.
Seeking resonance, not just reflection.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates.
Okay, Chapter 20, The Garden of Roses. This is an incredibly emotional moment in the story, maybe one of the most heartbreaking. It really hits hard, this one.
The little prince discovers a vast garden filled with hundreds, maybe thousands of roses, all seemingly identical to his own unique rose back on asteroid B612.
He thought his was the only one in the universe.
Exactly. And this discovery just shatters his heart. He lies down on the grass and weeps because his rose isn't unique, and he feels he has nothing special to be proud of.
This chapter is an intensely emotional turning point, one where Saint-Exupéry, grappling with the complexities of his own personal relationships, the pain of separation, he profoundly explores the complexities of love and attachment. The prince's heartbreak is palpable, and it forces him, and by extension, us to fundamentally reconsider what truly makes bonds special and meaningful.
Because it's not about objective uniqueness.
Exactly. It's not about being the only one of something in the entire cosmos. It's about profound subjective connection. This chapter is absolutely crucial because the prince learns, or begins to learn, a vital lesson here. Physical uniqueness is not what makes something precious or irreplaceable.
So what does?
His rose is special, not because she's physically distinct from all these others in the garden, but because of the immense time, the personal care, the devoted love he has invested in her. That investment makes her unique and essential to him. Her value comes from the relationship they built, not her objective form compared to others.
So it's about the investment of self, not the inherent rarity. That's a powerful reframing of value, isn't it? It completely shifts the focus from external comparison to internal devotion.
It fundamentally shifts perspective.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful reminder in a culture, like in the US, that often values novelty, exclusivity, and external markers of uniqueness. Think about how a generic, mass-produced item, given with immense love and thoughtful intent, can often mean infinitely more than an expensive, objectively unique item given without any genuine thought or affection.
The thought really does count.
It does. Or how a beloved community garden, though it might appear similar to countless other gardens, holds incredibly special meaning for the people who collectively tend to it. Why? Because of the shared effort, the time invested, the common purpose, the memories made there. This chapter profoundly helps us reevaluate what truly makes our relationships, our work, or even our possessions genuinely valuable. It's a deep dive into the idea that worth isn't always inherent or objective. It's often created and infused through personal investment, care, and the unique subjective bonds we forge.
The undeniable truth of this chapter is that the true value of love lies in the depth of personal connection, the time invested, and the shared experiences, not in superficial comparisons or objective uniqueness. It's our investment that makes something or someone irreplaceable to us.
A painful but crucial lesson for the friends.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, Chapter 21, The Fox's Secret. Here it is. Probably the most iconic, most quoted, most profound lesson of the entire story.
This is the heart of it, many would say.
The little prince, still heartbroken from the rose garden, meets a wise fox. And the fox teaches him about taming.
And the importance of seeing with the heart.
This conversation is just central.
It absolutely is. This is precisely where Saint-Exupéry delivers his most powerful and enduring message, the very core of the book's philosophy. In a world often driven by superficiality, fleeting trends, the immediate gratification of desires then and now, the fox's words are a profound, timeless call. A call to prioritize meaningful bonds and to perceive reality far beyond the obvious or the tangible.
So what exactly does taming mean here? It sounds a bit like control.
That's a common initial thought, but it's not about control or domination at all. The fox explains it very carefully. Taming here is incredibly nuanced. It's about patiently building relationships through consistent ritual, dedicated time, and mutual investment. Creating ties, the fox says.
Creating ties. Okay.
It's this process of taming that makes one being unique and utterly essential to another, setting them apart from all the thousands of others just like them. Like the Princess Rose or the Prince to the Fox.
Because you've invested in them.
Exactly. And then the famous unforgettable line. What is essential is invisible to the eye.
Goosebumps every time.
Right. This is the core revelation. It means that true value, profound beauty, genuine connection, they can only be felt, understood, and perceived with the heart, with intuition, empathy, not solely with superficial sensory perception or cold, rational observation.
It's the ultimate counterpoint to the businessman counting stars or the adult seeing only a hat. It's about what you feel and invest, not just what you see or quantify. This really is the central message, isn't it?
It truly is. And this lesson applies to so much in U.S. life, where we're often trained to value what can be seen, measured, or immediately consumed. Think about how much time, patience, and sustained effort it genuinely takes to build a strong, resilient friendship or a lasting, loving marriage.
It doesn't happen overnight.
Not at all. It's a deliberate, ongoing process of taming. It requires commitment, vulnerability, showing up consistently, creating those rituals the Fox talks about. Or consider how some of the most meaningful and soul-enriching experiences in life, like a quiet moment of profound awe in nature, the feeling of deep belonging in a supportive community, the simple comfort of shared silence with a loved one.
Things you can't really photograph or put a price on?
Exactly. They cannot be bought, cannot be photographed in a way that captures their essence, certainly cannot be quantified. They must be felt deeply and viscerally. This powerful chapter challenges a society that often prioritizes visual appearance, material possessions, and quantifiable success over deeper, intangible, and profoundly fulfilling experiences. It asks us to slow down, look deeper, and truly feel what matters.
The undeniable core insight here is that what is essential is truly invisible to the eyes but deeply felt by the heart, and that genuine connections are built through time, care, and shared vulnerability, making things essential to us.
You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. That's the weight of it.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. All right, Chapter 22, The Railway Switchman. After learning the fox's secret, the little prince meets a railway switchman.
Another observer of humanity's pattern.
Yeah, he watches countless people rush by on trains, sorting the trains, sending them left or right. But the people inside seem to be rushing without any clear purpose.
Going back and forth, never satisfied where they are. Only the children are pressing their noses to the glass, the switchman says.
Right, only the children know what they're looking for. It's quite poignant.
Saint-Exupéry's reflective tone here is a direct critique, I think, of humanity's often aimless busyness, especially potent during that time of societal upheaval, frantic motion in the 1940s. He questions the purposeless motion that frequently defines our lives, urging us to consider if our constant activity is truly leading us somewhere meaningful.
Are we just busy being busy?
That's the question. The trains, in this context, powerfully symbolize the hurried, often directionless, ceaseless pace of modern life. People are moving constantly, traversing vast distances, but the switchman, from his calm vantage point, observes that they don't seem to know why they're moving with such urgency or where they're truly going. It's motion for motion's sake, a blur of activity without a guiding purpose or appreciation for the journey.
So it's not about how fast you're going, but whether you know your destination and why it matters to you. It's a reminder to pause and ask why amidst the constant rush.
And this is incredibly relatable in the U.S., isn't it? Where busyness is often glorified, worn like a badge of honor, a marker of success or importance.
Definitely. If you're not busy, something's wrong.
Right. We're constantly rushing from one activity to the next, our schedules packed to the brim. Think about the daily commute, the endless back-to-back meetings, the packed extracurricular schedules for kids, the pressure to constantly be productive, optimizing every second.
It's exhausting.
It is. Are we truly moving with a clear, intentional purpose, aligning our activities with our deepest values? Or are we simply moving for the sake of it, caught in a cycle of reactivity, just following the tracks laid out for us? This chapter serves as a profound prompt for us to reflect on our own life's direction. Are our activities truly aligned with our deepest values and aspirations? Or are we just on a treadmill, running hard, but not really going anywhere that truly fulfills us? It's a call to intentionality, to mindful living, and maybe to look out the window more, like the children.
The profound truth here is that purpose gives true meaning to life's journey. Otherwise, we're just rushing through it without direction, like trains on an endless, unexamined track.
Finding your why before you board the train.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Chapter 23, The Merchant's Pills. The prince then encounters a rather unusual merchant.
The efficiency expert.
Well, exactly. He's selling these thirst-quenching pills that promise to save people a significant amount of time, 53 minutes a week, he calculates, by eliminating the need to drink water.
Just pop a pill. No need for that tedious drinking.
The prince finds this utterly puzzling. He asks what you do with the extra 53 minutes.
And the merchant doesn't have a good answer, does he?
No. The prince thinks he'd use the time to walk very slowly toward a spring of fresh water.
This is another instance of Saint-Exupéry's sharp, insightful satire, directly mocking society's pervasive obsession with efficiency for efficiency's sake, often at the cost of genuine human experience. In the 1940s, when time was often a precious luxury, stolen amidst wartime demands and anxieties, his critique feels particularly pointed.
Saving time was probably a big deal then.
It was. But this is a powerful statement about the importance of savoring life's moments, of embracing the process instead of constantly rushing through them or trying to shortcut natural experiences. The pills, in this allegory, powerfully symbolize the modern impulse to optimize, streamline, shortcut natural, often intrinsically rich processes, frequently losing the depth and joy of the experience in the process.
Like the simple pleasure of drinking water when you're thirsty.
Exactly. The prince, with his innate childlike wisdom, intuitively understands that the profound satisfaction and simple joy of drinking fresh water isn't just about the physical quenching of thirst, it's the very act itself, the ritual, the refreshment, the conscious engagement with a vital need, maybe the walk to the well.
So it's not about doing things faster, but about experiencing them more fully. It's a very different approach to time management, prioritizing presence over speed.
It's a perfect metaphor for so many aspects of modern U.S. life, where time-saving apps, gadgets, services promise ultimate efficiency, but often strip away the joy, the connection, or the sensory richness of the experience.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about meal replacement shakes instead of the ritual connection of shared meals with family and friends, or binge-watching entire seasons of shows in one go, perhaps missing the communal discussion and anticipation that builds week to week, or foregoing engaging in meaningful, unhurried conversations in favor of quick texts or abbreviated messages.
We're always trying to save time.
We are. But the critical question the prince implicitly asks is, save time for what? What are we going to do with all this saved time? Often, we just fill it with more busyness. This chapter profoundly encourages us to question if we're inadvertently sacrificing truly meaningful moments, genuine connection, and deep fulfillment on the altar of supposed efficiency. Are we speeding through life so fast that we miss the very essence of living?
The undeniable truth here is that time is best spent savoring what truly matters, not simply on finding ways to rush through life. Because often the journey itself, with all its simple moments, like walking to a spring, is the most profound reward.
Cherish the process, not just the outcome.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates.
Okay, chapter 24, The Well in the Desert. Back with the pilot and the prince. After a long, desperate search, they're out of water. The pilot is near collapse.
A moment of real crisis.
And they finally find a well in the desert, a literal and symbolic source of hope and life, appearing almost miraculously in their moment of deepest need. It's not like other wells either. It's like a village well, with a pulley and a rope.
Out here. Right. It's unexpected, magical almost. Saint-Exupéry's poetic storytelling here truly evokes a profound sense of wonder, relief, and deep gratitude.
Written as the author himself sought hope and meaning amidst the devastation and despair of a world at war, this chapter stands as a powerful inspiration. It urges us to find light, vital resources, sources of sustenance even in the bleakest, most desolate, seemingly hopeless times.
Like finding water in the Sahara.
Exactly. Well, and this narrative is far more than just a source of physical water. It's a miracle. It's a profound reward for perseverance, for believing even when things look dire. And it's a powerful symbol that truly essential things, be it hope, connection, meaning, beauty, can be found when one looks with the heart, as the fox taught, with persistence and with a spirit of belief. It represents the deep satisfaction and profound appreciation found in things truly earned, discovered, or deeply appreciated after struggle. The water tastes better because of the journey.
It's the ultimate symbol of finding light in the darkness, isn't it? A tangible manifestation of enduring hope when all seems lost. It offers a powerful counter-narrative to despair.
Absolutely. And think about moments of collective resilience in the U.S. after a major crisis. A community coming together after a devastating hurricane or a tornado, pooling resources, supporting each other when infrastructure has collapsed, finding water, food, shelter together.
People stepping up.
Yes. Or individuals finding incredibly creative and ingenious solutions during periods of severe economic hardship, demonstrating extraordinary human ingenuity and spirit. On a more personal level, Consider finding inner peace, profound strength, or unexpected clarity during a period of deep sadness, personal loss, or profound uncertainty, that hidden wellspring within.
Finding strength you didn't know you had.
Exactly. This chapter powerfully reminds us that hope is often found not through grand, sweeping gestures or external saviors, but in small, vital, often unexpected sources, discovered through persistent effort, a willingness to search, and especially when we are at our most vulnerable and open to receiving. It's about recognizing the quiet miracles in challenging times.
The profound key insight here is that hope can indeed be found, often unexpectedly, even in the most challenging and bleakest moments of life. If you have the courage to keep searching, reminding us that resilience often reveals hidden springs of strength.
The desert hides wells for those who look with the heart.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Chapter 25, The Star's Meaning. As they rest by the well, the little prince shares this beautiful, poignant thought with the narrator.
Preparing him for the departure, maybe?
Perhaps. He says that now, whenever the narrator looks up at the stars, they will no longer just be distant lights. They will specifically remind him of the prince's unique laughter.
Because one of them is the prince's home. Billions of stars, but one will laugh for him.
Exactly. And they'll also remind him of his one-of-a-kind rose. The stars will be like bells or like flowers.
This is Saint-Exupéry's heartfelt narrative, beautifully tying together the story's central, interconnected themes: love, memory, personal meaning. In the context of his own exile, separation from loved ones, the potential for profound, permanent loss during wartime, the author powerfully emphasizes the profound importance of personal meaning and how our cherished connections literally infuse the entire universe with significance.
They change how we see everything.
Completely. The stars, which were once just abstract points of light or maybe numbers to be counted by the businessman, they are now profoundly transformed for the narrator. They are infused with deep personal meaning through the memory of the prince and his beloved rose. This perfectly illustrates how our relationships, our shared experiences, the love we give and receive, literally transform the world around us, giving inanimate objects or vast, indifferent spaces a deep personal resonance and an enduring emotional weight.
So it's not just a beautiful sentiment, it's an instruction almost. Find personal meaning in everything around us, especially through our relationships. It's about how our internal world transforms the external.
Precisely. Think about a specific song that, for you, instantly conjures the memory of a particular person, a cherished event, or a significant period in your life.
Yeah.
The song itself hasn't changed, but its meaning for you is immense.
Yeah, certain songs take you right back.
Or a seemingly ordinary landmark, a park bench, a street corner, a building that holds deep family history or countless cherished memories. It looks like any other, but for you, it's sacred ground. Or even particular scent, maybe baking bread or rain on asphalt, or a specific perfume that triggers a flood of vivid recollections and emotions. These aren't just objective things. They are profoundly imbued with personal meaning through our unique experiences and the connections we've formed.
So this chapter serves as this profound encouragement for us to find our own stars.
Yes. Those symbols, places, objects, memories that connect us intrinsically to what and who we love, making the universe personally meaningful and alive with significance. It's about creating a universe tailored to your own heart, woven from the threads of your relationships.
The profound insight here is that our personal connections and cherished relationships are what truly give the universe its meaning and fill our lives with significance, transforming even the most distant things into personal anchors of love and memory.
Your love makes the stars laugh. It's beautiful.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. Okay, chapter 26, The Farewell. The little prince, knowing his time on Earth is ending, prepares to return to his planet. It's the anniversary of his arrival.
And he needs help returning.
Yes, and this tragically involves being bitten by that mysterious snake he met earlier at the exact spot where he landed.
The snake offered its help, didn't it, to send him back?
It did. It's an incredibly emotional and difficult farewell for both the prince and the narrator, who doesn't want him to go, especially not like this.
Saint-Exupéry's emotional storytelling here is just gripping, perfectly capturing the profound, universal pain of parting. Especially poignant for an author who himself faced his own mortality as a pilot many times and endured the anguish of wartime separation from his home, his loved ones.
You feel the narrator's heartbreak.
Absolutely. This chapter serves as a deeply poignant reflection on loss, but it also subtly, yet powerfully, hints at the idea of transformation and the enduring nature of connection beyond physical presence. The snake's bite, Notice how it's presented. Not as a simple final death in the way we might think of it.
No, it's different.
Right. It's presented as a return to the prince's home planet, a shedding of his heavy earthly body, which is too heavy to take with him. This frames loss not just as an absolute ending, but perhaps as a transition, a journey, a continuation of a different kind.
Like his body is just baggage he leaves behind.
Something like that. The pain of separation for the narrator is undeniably real and immense. But so too is the underlying hope, maybe faith, that the connection, the love, the lessons learned transcend mere physical presence.
It transforms the idea an ending into a new beginning, or at least a continuation on a different plane. That's a powerful way to deal with grief, isn't it? Offering solace and transformation.
It resonates deeply with the universal human experience of grief and saying goodbye, whether it's to a loved one who has passed away, or a child leaving home for college, embarking on their own adult life, or even the profound ending of a significant life chapter, like retiring or moving away.
Those goodbyes are so hard.
They are. And while the immediate pain of separation is immense and undeniable, the love shared and the memories created endure. Many cultures and individual beliefs, certainly within the U.S., find solace and meaning in the idea that relationships continue in spirit, that the essence of loved ones remains, or that cherished memories keep those who are gone incredibly close, even across vast distances and the divide of mortality. It's about the legacy of love continuing to shape us.
The profound key insight is that goodbyes, while carrying the immense weight of love and pain, also carry the promise of enduring memory and a continuation of connection beyond physical presence, a testament to the power of lasting bonds that transcend physical separation.
The connection remains, even if the form changes.
Like, subscribe, and share for more updates. And that brings us to the final chapter, chapter 27, the narrator's hope.
6 years later.
Right. The narrator reflects on the little prince's departure, forever changed by their encounter in the desert.
He's fixed his plane, he's back with his comrades, but something is different.
Definitely. He holds on to this tender hope of the prince's return. He worries if the sheep he drew ate the roes. He forgot to draw a muzzle strap.
That small detail, that worry, shows how much the connection endures.
It does. Saint-Exupéry's tender prose here leaves us with this lingering sense of longing, wonder, and profound reflection.
As a meditation on loss, the enduring power of memory and legacy, the author inspires us to cherish the memories we create, to continue looking to the stars, as the narrator does, for signs of connection, and to keep hope vibrantly alive, even in absence and uncertainty.
The narrator never physically sees the prince again, does he?
No. But the experience has fundamentally, irrevocably changed him. He mentions he started drawing again. He sees the world differently, with an enhanced perception, maybe closer to how the prince saw it. And he holds on to that quiet, persistent hope. Maybe doubt, too, about the sheep and the roes, but hope underneath.
It highlights the transformative power of genuine connection, doesn't it? Even fleeting ones. And the enduring nature of love and memory.
The impact of profound encounters can shape us forever, making us see the world anew.
It's a beautiful testament to the idea that some connections, no matter how brief, leave this indelible mark on your soul, shaping your perspective long after they're gone.
Absolutely. Think about how the legacy of influential figures in U.S. history continues to inspire and shape society, even though they are long gone. Their ideas, their struggles, their impact resonates across generations, keeping their influence alive.
Like Martin Luther King Jr. or Abraham Lincoln, their words still matter.
Exactly. Or consider how family traditions, stories passed down, shared values keep generations connected across time and geographical distance, ensuring that a family's history and spirit endures. This final chapter emphasizes that the impact of those we love, the profound lessons we learn from them, the unique ways they open our eyes, they can shape us forever, transcending physical presence, distance, and even perceived endings. Their influence becomes a permanent part of who we are, a constant reminder to keep looking for wonder and meaning.
The profound core insight here is that memories and hope are incredibly powerful forces that keep loved ones close, sustaining us even across vast distances and perceived endings, proving that genuine connection truly transcends physical boundaries.
The story ends, but the meaning echoes on, like laughter in the stars.
Wow, what a journey through The Little Prince. I feel like I need to go look at the stars now.
Me too. It really is such a deep dive into the essence of human connection, the folly of rigid adult perspectives, and that timeless importance of seeing with your heart.
It reminds us, doesn't it, that the most significant truths often come from the simplest sources, from pure, unjaded perspectives like a child's.
and that our greatest treasures are not, possessions or achievements, the things the grown-ups in the book value, but the love we share and the unique connections we forge, the things we tame.
So what does this all mean for you, listening right now? As you go about your day, perhaps look at the matters of consequence in your life or the people around you, and maybe ask yourself, what is essential here that is invisible to the eye?
Are you seeing only the hat? Or are you willing to look deeper and see the boa constrictor with the elephant inside?
Consider the baobabs you might be neglecting in your own life, those small issues, those negative thoughts, those neglected responsibilities that could grow to overwhelm you if you don't tend to them.
Or think about the taming that a relationship in your life truly needs. That patient investment, those rituals, that showing up that will make it uniquely essential.
And yeah, next time you look up at the night sky, maybe let the stars remind you of those deeply personal connections that give your universe its unique and irreplaceable meaning.
Find the star that laughs for you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this very special deep dive into The Little Prince.
It's been a real pleasure unpacking this one.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeing with your heart.